Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Let's get into this. So, hi guys. I was actually guided not to record yesterday. I'm still a little froggy in the voice. I'm still a little raw. No alien table, no periodic table, no alien talk tonight, alright? But Thursday night coming in to Friday, there were some spiritual darts sent my way, alright? Now, I know that I was guided not to do a segment because of the energy that was sent towards me. As you guys may know, today going into tomorrow is the last day for Mercury retrograde. So, and then we have the sun coming into Taurus. A lot of different energies being shifted around. This is kind of like the witch's last little period to brew for a while. I mean, at least anything substantial, right? And significant. Now, that theory was tested. I had the opportunity to engage with a kid, a toddler, which I'm very good with, who wanted nothing to do with me. And I didn't press the issue because I knew that there was some energy being sent towards me. And I didn't even really want to engage with her too much because I knew that that spirit was like lurking around, right? Now, some people may not think that it's a big deal, but when you have spiritual darts being thrown at you and you are literally in the midst of warfare already. I'm sorry, I got a little distracted. But when you are in the middle of warfare, it becomes easier for other attacks to like pile up, right? Because you're so busy focusing your energy in this area. People who are observing you and throwing the spirits and doing the rituals at the same time. Sometimes these witches and warlocks, they group up together and sometimes they don't even know one another, but their job is to be open vessels, or like a highway, if you will, for these spirits to travel and do their dark deeds and arts. I'm going to be real. Sometimes they don't even remember what their day has been like after these dark entities come in and out of them. Like sometimes their memories are so jogged that all they could do was like smoke or drink and go to sleep, right? And we may take it as they're on drugs, they're crazy, you have a bad, like a horrible memory. But that is like one of the things that they kind of leave dangling in them. There's no recollection, at all. Especially if the person has some sort of light left in them. The entity will completely take over. Now, these last few days, I've been feeling the different energies, the different attempts to consume not just me, but I'm speaking on my behalf, my own behalf right now. But these rituals don't just happen with me. They are happening with anyone who is set to go into this new cycle that's starting very, very soon. We've already had proof that something new is coming, right? Anyone who is anywhere close to receiving spiritual inheritances, physical inheritances, spiritual upgrades of any sort, shaking off any entities that are dark, and people who are, their vessels are being used to attack people, and they are stepping away from that dense energy. All of the people are being attacked. There are even witches and warlocks who are denouncing the cults in the different groups that they are a part of, and they have decided to step into the light, right? They have decided to go with the Creator and move into what the Creator wants them to do. And a lot of the times it's still a very spiritual thing. It's just something lighter, right? Not something so heavy and dark, like doing rituals to distract and deter God's chosen people. Because believe it or not, these witches and warlocks are God's chosen people. They're some of God's strongest, but they have been consumed, and the Creator has allowed that. And the enemy, the shaitan, the devil, whatever you want to call it, has consumed those people early on, because he knew that they were some really powerful heavy hitters in this spiritual game. Now, when we start to look at these different areas where people are pretty much, ready to give up, this goes back to the segment we had about those spirits that are kind of like in the balance, right? They don't believe, but they're not necessarily evil, or they're evil and they know that they need to get out of it. They just don't know how. It's a lot of different categories with this wayward, with these spirits that are kind of like just wayward. Now, a lot of us have been tempted in these last few days. I myself have even fallen into the trap of distraction. It's gonna be one of those things where you have to really be comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? If the Creator is giving you a set of directions, you have to really figure out how to stay the course. Your spiritual strength, your strength is going to be what protects you, okay? Your ability to ignore is going to be what protects you. Your choice to opt out of things that, may be roads leading back to old behavior, old places, will save you, okay? If you can stay away from places, not even just people, right? Because again, sometimes these people have these spirits in them, and the spirits are jumping from person to person. They're like, okay, you're going to move to North Dakota. I'm going to attack the people that God has for you in, your next cycle, your next journey. I'm going to consume them now. So by the time you get to them, you're either not vibrationally aligned, or they're vibrating so low that when you do come into contact with them, they attack you, and you have to get away from them. And the attack isn't always physical, right? So often we hear the term attacked and we automatically say, hey, that the guy's going to punch that girl in the face, or, he's going to do this and do that. And yeah, even though that's true, that is the physical manifestation of the attack coming through the realms. But a lot of the times, these attacks are not physical. It's sending the evil eye. It's wishing something bad would happen. It's speaking negatively over a person's life or a situation pertaining to them. it's, doing things to manipulate their intake and how they perceive. And a lot of the times, people do rituals, believe it or not, wishing, lying, speaking negatively is witchcraft. A lot of people think like, oh, you need to be getting candles and setting up pentagrams. And no, that's heavy dark magic. That's heavy black magic. Remember, witchcraft is one big umbrella and so many different things go under that. I would not say that hoodoo or voodoo goes under that. According to my research and my understanding of these different spiritual practices, right? You may think differently, but there are a lot of different attempts to, get you to not. I'm sorry, my phone's ringing. There are so many different attempts to confuse you, right? And to put you in the mindset of, well, maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe I'm not being spiritually attacked and I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm not smart enough for this. Maybe I'm not strong enough for this. If you in your heart and mind and body already knew that you had something special to do for God, and like we all do, right? But some people's responsibility is a little bit heavier than others, right? You're going to be attacked, okay? You're going to be attacked. If you know and believe that God wants you to do work on yourself in order to help other people, then you are definitely one of God's people, and there's an assignment, a special assignment that he wants. Listen, some people are not spiritually mature enough. And we had a download, we did a segment about how sometimes our parents are like, they used to be our children or our enemies in a past life, and God made them our parents in this life in order, to clear up karma or to help get them through the threshold so they can get grounded, so they can advance spiritually, right? So there's a lot of different aspects and concepts to go about all of this, but most of the time we just end up in situations that we desire simply because we have it on our minds and our hearts long enough and strong enough to manifest it. So the same way you can do that with your desires is the same way you should be doing that with, what the Creator wants you to do. Again, we know that a lot of people don't really have the full understanding of, what God wants and how to differentiate between God's voice and all the others. What is the right thing? Is it a trick in the plot from the enemy? Like, we get that. You have to do the purge in order to hear God. And yeah, this is going to be when the enemy revs up those attempts. The more you purge, the more things are going to be sent to you to distract you, but the easier it will become the more you practice on the purge and fasting, right? A lot of the times we're confused, and that's fine. That's why we have the Creator, so he can tell us what to do, what not to do. That's why we have angels. That's why we have ancestors. That's why we have all this spiritual guidance around us. I think we're going to do something really cool. Have like a little meetup, a little shebang bang. I need to find a date and a location, but I'm going to end it here. I do love y'all. I hope y'all are enjoying your weekend. I hope you are drinking your water, eating your fruit and vegetables, and sipping on your own tea because it's free. Love y'all. Peace.